Welcome to Drunk Athlete, the podcast where we sit down with everyday athletes over a few beverages and talk about the trials, tribulations, and glory of their favorite subject, their sport and themselves. Hosted by Big Pistachio's own Coach Aaron Truslow.
Welcome to the Drunk Athlete podcast, Zoom style, guys.
Hey.
New age.
New age, the new wave. We've got to adapt, right? So today I have, for everybody listening through one of their podcast interfaces, we have several guests today, and we're going to be talking about how COVID has affected small businesses. And fortunately, a lot of my small friends all own small businesses, but at the same time, they've all been affected in one way or another. But first things first, what are we drinking, guys? I'll start. I'm drinking ranch water. Let me see if I can find it on the screen. There we go. Ranch water by Shotgun. It's spiked seltzer from Austin, Texas, and it's 6.9% alcohol. So this
Ooh, that's a pretty hefty alcohol.
it's pretty hefty alcohol. Michelle, what are you drinking?
I am drinking the Altstadt Lager from the brewery in Fredericksburg.
Awesome. Perfect. Your first time on the podcast, so welcome. Even though you are a sponsor with Austin Massage Company of the Drunk Athlete podcast, you've actually never been a guest of the show, so welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We have, of course, the famous episode 1, Kat Atkins, with her hubby, Mark Wignall, and they own Castro's Bar and Grill out in Lakeway. What are you guys drinking? You have a whole bar to choose from.
I'm drinking Frog Pond vodka.
Nice.
Mixed with scratch.
Gotta stay hydrated.
And I'm drinking the 1792 Full Proof, which was just rated as the best whiskey in the world
Okay.
for 2020.
Oh.
Bring it. He's going big. Going big. Oh,
Cheers.
cheers. And then we have Ann and Jordan McCambridge from Anga. Hi, guys.
Hi.
How are you?
We are good. Let's see. So, Ann, what do you got
I'm
there?
just going cheesy and light, a little White Claw. I can't there.
Wow.
Can't see it. There you go.
Let's see. I've got Austin East Cider's Blood Orange Cider.
Nice.
Pretty tasty made here. Little refreshing for the springtime day.
It is, yeah, the spring day. And then episode 3, Stuart Meckler and Lamel. Guys, what are you drinking?
We're classy. We've got boxed wine and mason jars.
Nice.
I'm jealous.
Keeping it classy.
Guys.
If I'd have known that, I'd have brought the Busch Light. Shoot.
Stuart, and just to remind everybody, Stuart is a sponsor also with Stuart Meckler Designs. He's a hairstylist. And Sam, you are a real estate agent with Capital Metro Realty. Sorry. So everybody here has businesses that were directly affected in one way or another. And we're going to talk a lot about that. So, Kat and Mark, how long have you guys owned Castro's?
Wait,
5 minutes?
4 months? 5 months? Yeah, 4 or 5 months.
5 months.
Just in time.
Around for a while, right?
14 years.
Okay, so the business has been around for 14 years, but you guys took over ownership just about 5 months ago. So,
Correct.
when did this start affecting you guys? When they told everybody to stay home, or did it start affecting you guys beforehand? Because you're kind of a bar restaurant, so it's a little bit different than everybody else with the personal services.
Yeah, so it was on St. Patrick's Day that it was announced, and we had just opened at 11:30, and at 12 o'clock, Mayor Adler and County Judge Eckhart had released a statement saying that we had to shut down. So within a half hour, we were shut down, and we had no idea when we'd be able to open up again. And later they had they rephrased it and gave some better direction and said that we could be open because we were a restaurant in addition to the bar. We just can't have any in-house seating. Nobody can come in and eat. You can't come in and drink. But we then had to shift our focus, and I can talk about that now or in a few minutes.
We'll get to it. Okay, so scary day for you guys, especially since
Definitely.
it's over. And then Anne and Jordan. So last time we talked was in December, and you were getting ready to open Spenga. So kind of like Kat and Mark, you guys just started, right? So tell me, like, how long was Spenga open before this all happened?
We had our official grand opening on February 24th to all of our members, and then we shut down about 3 weeks after that. So the Tuesday evening of St. Patrick's Day, after a lot of these announcements had been made, we made the decision to shut down the studio effective Wednesday morning. And then that Thursday evening, it was announced through the city that all gyms and fitness concepts were mandated to shut down. So we were about 48 hours ahead of what was already coming. So,
oh gosh. Okay, Michelle, you are in the massage business, and you have 3 locations, right? How long have you been in business?
Well, as Austin Massage Company since 2014.
Okay. So with your 3 businesses, how many staff do you have?
We have full-time about 8 and total of 19 massage therapists.
Okay. So how did you deal with that? I guess it all happened. I was out of town when this all rolled through. So how did this happen? How did it get relayed to you? And when did you know you had to close your doors?
Well, it kind of started when they put a ban on the bars and restaurants. That brought it to our attention, as far as I could see the writing on the wall that eventually, you know, as a healthcare or wellness center, that we would be next, especially since there was the 6-foot rule and the social distancing. You know, we are touch therapy, so very close quarters. And we started to feel, as soon as the recommendation to stay home came in effect, before they mandated for us to close doors, we had already started to feel that hit, with people just canceling their appointments, you know. And so we ended up eventually, we stopped seeing clients before we were actually instructed to do so. So
okay.
There's a little bit of tricky wording, because Governor Abbott used the term massage parlor, which had a lot of massage therapists in an uproar. And I was like, we're not a massage parlor, you know, we're body workers and we're clinical massage. So there were a lot of people that were still trying to tiptoe around that and still work. But as soon as the order went in, we shut our doors. I saw my last client, I believe it was on the 16th. It was that Tuesday. And then we shut doors on the 19th. We saw people in the office on the 19th, the last day, and we were officially closed on the 20th.
Okay. So, and then Stuart and Sam, you guys are in different businesses. Stuart, you work hair design, hair salon. So obviously, like Michelle, it's touch base.
Yeah.
You can't stay 6 feet away from somebody and cut their hair.
So that's where the problem was, is that once those rules started coming in on March 17th for the restaurants, the 10-foot, the 6 feet, 10 people in a place, 6 foot apart, there was no specific rules for hair salons. So a lot of salons were either closing themselves or stayed open. So we stayed open all the way till the 23rd, when they actually said that we had to shut down as well. But that's where the problem came in, is that we had to rearrange everyone's schedule, made sure there was not more than 10 people in the salon. And it started getting really hectic. And so people were making plans on exit. And then we officially closed last Tuesday on the 23rd, or whenever it was, that, you know, that Tuesday night where they shelter in place is when they officially said that we had to shut. So we're the last one that really got affected, even though we touched people just kind of like Michelle did, you know. But we had really clean practices during that point.
Yeah. Yeah. Sam, how does it, real estate company, is that necessary business, or are you kind of on the shutdown too because people don't want to look at people's houses inside and all that?
Well, yeah, we are actually considered essential business. So I can still show homes. I couldn't at first. It was very confusing. I could not at first. But then Governor Greg Abbott just recently in the last 2 or 3 days has put us as essential business. Housing is important. But I just cut off my ringer on my phone because I didn't want to disturb anybody. I don't think it's going to ring anyway. You know, there's nobody calling me and nobody wants to see any homes right now. Everything's been really quiet and silent.
Yeah. I know some people who are selling their home and they pulled it off the market because they just don't want strangers walking through their home touching things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, there's like virtual tours. If you get serious about a house, you want to go in it, right? And see it.
Correct.
So everything's kind of slowed down for all y'all. I can't imagine what fears there are based around income, right? For everybody, for all, especially you guys, like you can't work at all. So like, how are we dealing with all of that? So like Michelle with her 19 employees, I know it's like, let's just keep drinking instead. That's how we're dealing with it. Castro's wins.
They deliver.
Yeah.
Yes. Not to me though. Not to me.
Too far. So Michelle, with your staff, and I know Spanga has, you know, your staff also, what, maybe like 10 staff, around 10. So how do you handle the stress of having all those employees under you or contractors under you and feeling like it's your responsibility to figure things out to help them make money and get them income? Or is that, I mean, everybody's kind of hamstrung. Michelle, how do you feel about it?
Well, it's stressful. I think my team's pretty strong and they're all independent contractors. So technically I don't really have financial responsibility for them, you know, so I don't have to pay employees, but, you know, just because they're part of my team, I do feel some responsibility, and we've been brainstorming on ways to generate some passive income for them, doing virtual consultations where the clients, we're doing a Zoom meeting just like this. If they have issues or want to do follow-up, or they forgot that one stretch that their massage therapist showed them for their upper back or their neck, they can hop on a quick video call and talk face-to-face with the massage therapist who can show them tips and self-massage techniques that they can do at home until they can actually come into the office. So that's one avenue of income. But then our clients have been great. A lot of them have been reaching out just out of concern to ask how everyone's doing. And we have a Venmo account open where clients have been able to donate whatever they feel that they want to give, and then in a note putting their massage therapist name in the note, and then 100% of that money is going directly to them as well. And then the last thing we're doing is gift certificate pre-sales, where 20% of any gift certificate that's purchased for now is the same thing. They put a little note of who their massage therapist is, and that automatically goes to them, along with any retail sales that they get coming in.
Okay, cool. Jordan and Ann, how are you handling all your instructors? Of course, I say this knowing what you guys are doing, but not everybody knows what you guys are doing. Fortunately, I did make the team, and I am a Spanga instructor now. Yay!
And a darn good one.
But let's everybody kind of like how you've adjusted to keep going.
Yeah, go ahead. So much, you know, as you know, Aaron, we focus on 3 disciplines, which is the cycling portion, strength portion, and then flexibility or yoga. The cycling portion is the most challenging one that we really can't take to a virtual class for obvious reasons. Not everybody has a bike, but we have so much flexibility with our strength portion of our workouts, and then the yoga portion, the flexibility. And the nice thing is, from a corporate standpoint, this is a franchise, and Spenga Corporate has been phenomenal in the support and trying to keep our fitness instructors really engaged and real active. So a lot of what we have done is taken everything virtual. There's anywhere from 8 to 14 virtual workouts, virtual live workouts provided daily through Spenga across the nation. Obviously, we at Spenga Austin participate in that. Aaron, you've been a part of that, and several other instructors have as well. And then we have some pre-recorded ones as well that we do. And kind of the next step that we're taking right now is, how are we able to positively impact others in this time? And so we just earlier this week rolled out a series on nutrition. We'll get into mental health and well-being. We'll get into some meditation aspects and just being able to help others, just coming together as a Spenga family and really providing value to each other, whether you're a Spenga member or not, but just kind of all of us getting through this. Matter of fact, Mary, our studio director, just finished not 45 minutes ago. Ann and I were watching her on Instagram, and she was leading a family yoga session. So it was a 30-minute family yoga session. It was very kid-friendly and kid-centric, and it was a lot of fun. It was really fun. So there's so many different things I think that we can do virtually to help impact this community in a positive way. So
Well, and it's caused us to get creative, right? And to think outside the box. And I think that all these ideas are going to help us in the long term to help us grow as a business and to help us grow as a community. So, I think that we're trying to look at this, kind of set, this is our new norm. We have no idea how long this is going to last. So let's do this, and how well can we do it, and how can we improve going forward?
Right.
And Aaron, I don't know if you wanted to talk through that payroll protection program. It just released yesterday, but do you want to talk about that now, or you'll do it later?
We'll touch on that. Yeah, and and the SBA loans and all that are going through right now for independent contractors and business owners. So I think I actually forwarded it to all you guys. Kat and Mark, now you have employees, bartenders, all that, but you were able to change fairly quickly on the fly and figure out how to do home deliveries and everything takeout, right? Because that was just what you were allowed to do. And in doing that, it helps you pay the rent. Probably not a whole lot, though.
It's just not enough business.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, all the employees have been let go for now so that they can draw unemployment.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so when they're coming in, they're working 10, 12-hour shifts, and it's basically they're volunteering their time, hoping for big tips, which has actually been pretty good. I mean, one girl got a $300 tip the other day. So our customers are really taking care of us. And I mean, they come in just to hand us money or come, order a bunch of stuff that they don't need. And they don't need it, but they're doing it just to support us. So that's been really, really good.
Yeah. Stuart, you can't cut hair. You can't home haircut.
I need a haircut.
I know.
Stuart, look at this. Do
I'll
It's a
something.
lion's mane right
Yeah.
now.
Do something, Stuart.
That's the problem right now, is that there's so many people wanting home haircuts, but then a lot of hairdressers are against it right now, just because people aren't really concerned about our health, but they're concerned about their hair. But
Yeah.
and but no, it's just the way it is. But I'm willing to go out and do a whole bunch of people that I know very well at their location when the time comes. The problem is I can get a lot of trouble for it. I get a big fine for doing that if someone calls, right? And so that's where it faces. So I'm stuck. Like, I can't go do hair. I can't do it at house. I can't go and do anything. So, and then, some of the loans and stuff out there it's not really for me because I'm by myself. And so I did file, and so did Sam, for unemployment on Saturday because we're allowed to file for unemployment now. So hopefully we'll get that at least. But yeah, right now I'm doing nothing. We went camping. That's what I'm doing.
Well, and too bad Sam doesn't have hair for you to cut.
What's that?
Too bad Sam doesn't have hair for you to cut.
I know, right? He's got my skills
Practice
going.
on him, man.
Since you guys touched on it, we'll talk about that. So the government rolled out a couple of different things to help small businesses. This small business loans, or basically if it's under 10 grand, basically it's just a 10 grand bailout from what I can figure. If you get qualify for it. And then the payroll protection for businesses with payrolls who have employees. So they are trying to help, but I don't know, when those are coming through and all that. And
well, the SBA loans, they said today was going to take a lot longer because the banks didn't know how to do it.
Right.
And so it's going to happen. It's just going to take longer than, you can't do something like that within a week that's never been done before.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's going to take some time, but it's going to help a lot of people. Some of it you do have to pay back, I think, and it depends on the loan, but like later on down the road, but not right now or not, the next couple of months, but you can file, contractors now can file for unemployment, which we were never able to before. So that's the good thing that they just added nationally.
That is cool. I was pretty impressed. I have just a small business loan through PayPal, and they preemptively emailed me and said, we're not going to collect any of our payments for the next 30 days. And I reach out. Wow. They're like, you don't have to pay anything for the next 30 days. We'll figure this out, and we'll let you know if it needs to go longer. I was like, wow, I'm pretty impressed with PayPal. That was really cool. So with those, like, Jordan, what were you going to say about the bailouts, the payroll?
Yeah. So, I know, Chris, you briefly touched on it, but yeah, that payroll protection program is designed to compensate the employers for up to 8 weeks of employment. And so those employees that filed for unemployment, the idea there is that we're able to pull them back in as employees and keep them busy in some capacity. And so, that application started this morning, where we as business owners were able to turn that in to try and take care of our current employees we have. I think for independent contractors, there's if you're a 1099, that starts April 10th, is my understanding. You'll be able to apply for a payroll protection program as well and be compensated for up to 8 weeks of your average of last 12 months of pay as a 1099 as well. So, these programs are really encouraging. What's interesting, though, is how dynamic and fluid this whole situation is. Ann and I were getting emails from our lenders last night at 9 p.m. saying, hold on, the rules have changed. Just kidding. Don't fill out this paperwork. Fill out this other one. And this thing's supposed to be, we were one of the very first to submit. We had everything ready to roll last night, turned it in last night so that it starts to go through this morning. But even now, it's like this, it changes. It changes hourly, and I don't fault, I think everybody's doing the best job that they can with what they have. So I don't fault anyone for that. But, and there's some other programs I think that are rolling out where principal and interest, if you have a loan, will be forgiven for up to 6 months, pending you prove certain circumstances. And so I think all those things are encouraging, and it's not to say that this is, wow, we're all happy. It's the best of a bad situation is what it is. So,
yeah.
But the hope with that payroll protection program is that we're able to compensate our instructors appropriately and maybe even give them more time through virtual workouts. And we're coming up with some other really neat concepts right now, where we'll be able to hopefully do quite a few more things with Spenga.
That's awesome. And that's one of the things I wanted to touch base on was, and we can do it now, I guess, that what, how has it made you change the way you think about your business? And as Ann said, get out of the box and try to figure out new ways to make money somehow. And it sounds like Castro's, now you guys are able to, and I don't know if it's a permanent fix or if it's just for this time period that you're able to deliver alcohol, which wasn't allowed before. So that's kind of cool that you can deliver a margarita to my doorstep.
Actually,
Yeah.
it was legal before. We just never needed to do it.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
So the thing that changed is that people can come and pick up alcohol to go.
Okay.
So that was not allowed previously, and that's something that Governor Abbott encouraged the TABC to relax the rules so that we could do that. But it has to be in a factory sealed container or manufacturer sealed container. So now we can do, we can do beer and wine to go sealed, but now we can also do a cocktail where we can do the setup, and then also as far as the alcohol goes, we can sell the little mini airline bottles, or we can do up to 375 milliliter bottles, so the pint size bottles. And so that's for pickup or for delivery.
So clearly you guys weren't stocking this stuff before this happened.
No.
So how do you scramble and quickly get your hands on it? Do you just run?
We had,
to buy it, or are your distributors able to get that stuff to you immediately?
They robbed Southwest Airlines.
The distributors weren't prepared for it either. And so we had to go, there are specific liquor stores that are wholesale liquor stores that we work with. And so we had to go there and just see what they had on their shelves and pick that up as we could. And the other thing is we had no idea how much we were going to sell, right? Yeah. So we just bought a little bit because we didn't want, our business to, incur a lot of expenses right now whenever we have no idea what the demand is. Yeah. So we've just been buying little by little.
I will have to say that you guys have done a great job on Facebook and promoting it every day. I don't know who's doing it, but it is.
We're all doing it.
Yeah.
Well, it's amazing. I mean, it makes you just want to drive all the way out there, and I don't live close, just to grab something. I mean, it's really well done. So bravo to you guys for getting on the ball for that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think that's great. So here's the question that nobody really wants to ask, but how long does this last before you have to actually close your business? That you're not able to sustain.
I want to go work for HEB, but he won't let me.
Shelves, right?
Yeah, I mean, but he doesn't want, he's the doomsday guy here. He's the reason why we got out the same night that they said that we were closing, and went camping. But, he's just more worried about health, and I get it, and I understand that, but sometimes you have to go to work. And so I can survive, luckily, because I was a smart business person and made smart decisions, but smart decisions don't last forever.
Right.
So, we're trying the unemployment thing first, and then eventually I'll have to go, or I'll have to figure out a way to do hazmat suit house calls.
Yeah. You just put your hands through a window, drive-through haircuts.
Long gloves.
With the gloves on that you use to veterinarians do to
the cattle. Yes, I don't need that image in my head. Thank you.
That was really definitely didn't need. Thank you, Aaron.
Just stick it in there.
And fell off. We're hoping they're going to come back in. So, Michelle, obviously we don't want, Austin Massage Company to ever go down, but you need money, right? Run a bit.
Yeah. I mean, we for a 3 location business, we run a pretty thin overhead. We don't have a lot of back product that we have to purchase. I mean, our hands are our product. So, I'm working with the landlords, putting holds on everything that we could possibly put a hold on subscriptions, asking for leniency or discounts with our scheduling software and stuff like that. So making cuts where we can. And luckily, I have a husband who has an accountant brain, and we have saved for something like this. So we can't be closed for an entire year, but, we do have, stuff to keep us afloat and pay the bills until this passes and we can get back to work. I do anticipate that when we are back to work, that we're going to be really busy. The stress of the worry, it is not just emotional and mental stress, it presents physically as well. So I actually was on a walk 2 days ago and ran into one of the road coaches who was on her run. She's a elementary school teacher who's used to being up and moving around all day long, talking to the kids. She teaches first grade. And the first thing she said to me was like, oh my God, my back is killing me because I'm not used to sitting, trying to recreate online classroom schedules and worksheets for my students. She's like, so I told her to reach out to me, and I sent her some quick little videos and tips on how she can get some stretching done at home. But I anticipate that when we are able to get back to work, that we're going to be really busy. And we'll probably, I switch my schedule. I'm only in the clinic 3 days a week, so I'm probably going to be expanding my hours too, just to accommodate the need for everyone once we are able to get back to work.
Yeah, I need to get online right now and book appointments with both you and Stuart now. So that I'm
after May 1st.
After May 1st. Sam, you're probably a little bit more used to like cyclical periods of time because the real estate market is hot or it's not. It goes back and forth. Of course, we're in Austin, so it's probably hot most of the time. What are you seeing with the real estate market?
Well, I mean, it's like I said, no leads are coming in. Everything's kind of quiet right now. I was fortunate enough, I think I'm fortunate enough, I had a closing coming up today. It had been pushed back 2 or 3 times already just because we couldn't get everything we needed to get it closed. Today, my client went in to sign. I wasn't even allowed in. They said I could be virtual if I wanted to, but and I don't think that it's really delayed because my client signed it today, but the buyers are not signing until tomorrow, and the title company's coming in to get them signed in on a Saturday.
Wow!
So everything's just been kind of pushed back. Yeah. So we'll just see where it leads. Hopefully that'll be a check. I probably won't get any unemployment due to that check, and that should be able to last me for a month or so.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully, this doesn't last too much longer. I know we're looking at the end of May for sure. I've seen reports all the way to like 18 months worth of changes, and that is, terrifying for me and most people, especially with the businesses that I do. But, it's all about scrambling and figuring out how to make more money and just think out of the box and doing different things to expand, right? I'm like, I picked the wrong time to get out of Uber. I don't want anybody in my car, so there's that. All right, so do you see, and this goes out to all of y'all, whoever wants to answer, what good is coming out of this? Like, when this is over, is there something about this that is actually you think could turn out to be beneficial in the future for your business?
I think just the extra care that people are taking with themselves. I think people got away from realizing what they do personally affects the next person and the next person and the next person after that. I can't tell you how many times people have come into our salon and have been sick or like, oh, don't worry, I'm just getting over a cold or stuff like that. So I think more people are going to be more self-aware and not do something, especially like say for Spenga. I mean, people are going to be more apt to clean up after themselves and take care and care about the next person. So hopefully people are going to have a little bit more sense of what I do affects the next person.
The great thing at Spenga, though, is we clean for you. So you don't have to.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
We don't trust our clients to clean. We do that upon ourselves.
It is funny. There was about a 10-day period where everybody was trying to figure things out. And I remember that the Sunday before, during this week, I had emailed our team and just said, hey, there's this thing called social distancing that people may want to do that I'm hearing of. And so we may want to separate our members out, maybe 6 feet apart. If they want a bike that's, 2 bikes down and we want to separate them out, we're certainly fine with that. I mean, by Tuesday night, social distancing was all the rage. Like, if you hadn't heard of social distancing, you had your head in the sand, which was so interesting. But we had jokingly said in some of our posts, we were clean before being clean was cool. And it's so true, but you're right. I mean, it'll bring an even more acute awareness. We were on a conference call yesterday with Spenga Corporate, and Cintas is our corporate provider of cleaning supplies. And we were talking through all of the questions that members will have about what are we doing for cleaning methods, what do we use? And so Cintas is about to roll out a very detailed list of their product specs, which will be really interesting. So I think you're spot on that people are going to have a very, very acute awareness of how things are handled and cleaned and taken care of. So,
I mean, we could all use a little bit more social awareness and awareness of ourselves around others. So I think that it could potentially be the one good thing that comes out of this, instead of everybody with their head in the sand, that we're all paying attention now. That would be awesome. That would.
I think that one of the good things that's going on right now during the pandemic is finding that I'm reading more, I'm outside more, just enjoying my backyard. We go for a walk. Todd and I go for a walk every day at lunchtime. And there are other people out walking around with their families. There's those knuckleheads that are hanging out at Barton Springs Spillway, but it's like, I really think that people have really learned to appreciate each other's, the lack of company and the social aspect. And I mean, I've been on more Zoom meetings in the last week than I have in years. I'm FaceTiming and chatting with people who, I've not talked to in a really long time. So it's really forced people and given people the nudge to not be so selfish and think about the well-being and health of other people, and reaching out to people who you may not have touched in with in a month or a year. And I've really enjoyed that aspect of just reconnecting with people who I've lost touch with.
Yeah, I definitely see that people are, family units are coming back together a little bit. So yes, I definitely want to talk about that. I'm here all by myself. I'm not quarantined with anybody else, but you guys are. How has that affected your relationships, being that you are stuck together either as a family with the kids or your spouse?
See, they're sweeter.
We're trying to make babies.
No more babies.
There's gonna be Rona babies coming.
I mean, for us especially, in the light of the last year and a half, we have been just fast and furious with work, family, and then especially with getting Spenga up and going. And to us, whatever comes out of this on the business side, on the family side, we are so appreciative of this time that we've been able to have with each other and as spouses together, to actually be able to spend time and go on some walks. It's been nice, and I'm thankful for it. So, I hope that what does come out of this is that we all realize that we have made our lives so busy, and maybe we come to desire this a little bit slower of a pace, and realizing what's really truly important. And that's the people that are closest to us, and those relationships, and making sure we're fostering those. So I'm thankful for this time, for sure.
I think it's little stuff, just being at the house with the boys. We have 2.
I'm a homeschool mom now.
Yeah. Our sons are 11 and 9, but I think it's been, fun. I mean, I was messing with our car and had to take the tire off. And so our son Ty was out there. He's 9, and he's never learned how to change a tire, and I had the time, and so we sat there and I said, hey, why don't you change this tire out? Let me show you how to do that. And our oldest in the past week and a half has just drawn a sincere interest in fishing, which I really haven't spent a lot of time teaching him how to fish. And so we are fortunate enough to be close to the lake, and so we've been fishing a little bit. And I think just small experiences like that are things that we've really kind of overlooked, I'd say, in the last year and a half. So.
Well, and I think you have to be intentional with it, right? Like you have to look for those moments, because I think it's so easy to get overwhelmed right now with all the news and the what ifs. And, you know, we've really made a purpose every day to look inward and look at what the positive of this day holds, and just look for those little moments and be thankful for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Kat, how are you surviving with Mark?
Actually, we were just talking about this last night while playing darts.
Was he the
I
target?
used to be.
What
Is
was
he what?
was he the target?
not this time. Last night was a good night. No, but you know, he traveled for work for forever and was gone 3 days a week, and I was alone 3 days a week, and I loved my alone time, but I loved when he was home also. But since we've been together all day, every day, I don't notice a bit of difference. I only want to kill him 3 to 5 times, the same as I did whenever he was, you know, here every day.
Heck
I was gone, you know, it's the same.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now,
Well,
Stuart and Sam, you guys jumped in a camper and went out to
Yeah.
the country. How was that?
Well, I will say, you know, as much as I like being back home, it was really nice being removed. I mean, we were on 126 acres out in Maxdale near Killeen, about 10 miles outside Killeen, at a friend's ranch. We all kept our distance. She has a 76-year-old mother who like cooked for us and made me egg rolls for my birthday yesterday, and made me
Aw.
kimchi and fed us and stuff like that. And she was really nice, but we also like fixed her sink and had to use a hacksaw.
Chop some wood, you know, just did country things, but we weren't engulfed in the news and all
No.
that. So it was just nice just to get away. And we feel just as healthy as can be because we were out there away from everybody else.
Yeah, it was just really, I mean, until last night where it poured on us, but I mean, it was really nice to get away and be in greenery and see like goats in the morning that are trying to climb into our campsite, my dog barking, you know, donkeys. It was just,
We brought our bikes.
yeah,
We did some bike riding. So
Nobody was out there. I mean, we rode on these country roads and we hardly ever saw cars. It was great. So we enjoyed it, you know, and we're glad to be back, but I'm going to take a part of that and just keep going like the rest of the way.
clean out the closets like everybody
That's what
else
we're
now.
Yeah. That's been therapeutic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our next goal. So we got time now that we're going to be closed for, you know, a month or so. We're going to clean our closets and do a big spring cleaning and do a whole bunch of other stuff.
Michelle, you haven't killed Todd yet, have you?
No, he actually is still working from home. So, you know, I still have my 8 to 5 hours of, you know, trying to stay off of the internet, just getting as much information to my team as I can on like steps to file unemployment and where they can go, where the food pantries are, and you know, how to file for assistance for food.
Awesome. Oop, I think she dropped there. So what is something new that you've either learned about with this extra time that you guys have had together? Something new that you've learned about yourself, like
Next step for us.
handling this, or what you've learned about your spouse that you want to kill them over, or not?
I guess I've learned more patience than just trying. Well, he might disagree, but but more just living in the moment and like enjoying. Like I was supposed to do the Boston Marathon in a couple of weeks, right? And so I got really upset about it. It's, you know, when you train for something for so long and then you're stonewalled into something, it's really hard. And a lot of people don't get it, but I've learned a more appreciation of running or just going out and having a good time and taking my dog and like looking at nature and appreciating the little things in life that's there versus go, go, go. I'm sure, you know, both you guys have done that. a lot of you that, enjoying the family and changing a tire or anything else, like little moments like that you don't get all the time because we let life go by so fast. I think I'm just gonna, keep that going after this is all over, and just being more appreciative of my friends. I mean, I too, as Michelle, have had people reach out to me and say, whatever you need. I'm like, I'm okay right now. I'll let you know if I need something, but it's nice to see that people actually care. And so hopefully that'll continue in my life as well from here on out. So that's what I've taken from it. Just stopping and smelling the roses. We just keep going too fast and keep going. And there's so much beauty outside. I mean, it's beautiful outside now. It's green. And most of us will miss it, would have missed it if it wasn't for this.
Yeah.
You know?
Sam, tell us the truth. You want to kill him or not?
Oh, yes.
He wants to
Sometimes. If you can survive backing up the trailer, you're good.
That's a truth. I just leave and go and drink while he backs the trailer up. That's what I do.
Yeah. For me, I've been working from home forever, for years. And so I really feel like nothing has really changed, but for some reason I have more time to do projects around the house. So I've repainted walls and rearranged furniture and changed out everything. But I'm still doing pretty much the same amount of work. I just feel like I have more time to do it because I'm not rushing off to go hop in my car and drive somewhere because I've ixnayed all that stuff, right? So instead of going to HEB every day or every other day, now I'm trying to be more organized and maybe only go once every 2 weeks, which is, for me, that's my biggest challenge. I'm grocery store, so I never remember everything. So making a once every 2 weeks.
If you need any coffee or anything, we've got like 5 thins of coffee accidentally ordered, 6 boxes of cereal. We actually have toilet paper now, but if you need paper towels, we've got you covered.
I'm good so far. So
hey, Mark.
A little bit better. Go ahead.
Mark, are you guys, I had heard that there's a stockpile of commercial grade toilet paper at the restaurants and that some of them are offering a free roll of toilet paper with every delivery or every order. Is that true? Have you heard of this?
I have heard of it. We've been running kind of thin, but yeah, we definitely are stocked up at the restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm holding on to it for customers who really, really need it. Like Lysol, I've got a girl who has a child at home and she's just dying for a can of Lysol, and we had extra. And so I just private messaged her, and I'm like, okay, can we get some Lysol? Same with paper towels. Like some lady on Lakeway Swap was looking for paper towels, and like, just come and get some. We got you.
That's
so
great.
I'm holding on to all that stuff.
I love that.
I love how this, is tragic in so many ways and terrifying in so many ways, but that I think all of us, you guys especially, everybody's finding like the light inside of all of it. And we're figuring out how to make, lemonade out of shit soup, basically. So I think it's great. I really, really hope that we continue to spend the time, like Stuart said, stopping to smell the roses and going out and making those moments with your family that we all just got super into working, right? More work, more work, more work, 24/7. So maybe this was a good lesson for everybody. I mean,
I think so. Well, my grandma was 93 years old, and she's been through the Great Depression, the Spanish flu, World War I and World War II. And she just keeps saying, well, you just got to hunker down and make it through. And that's the truth. I mean, she made it through all of that. We can make it through this.
Yeah.
There's people that have been through worse, so we got to hold on.
You're certainly correct.
Mark, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I've noticed quite a bit, whether I go to the grocery store or I'm up at Castro's or wherever I am, that people really there seems to be a lot more humanity out there and a lot more patience with people and out running, down the street, we'll give each other plenty of distance as we pass, but people are making eye contact and saying hello where, 2 months ago that wouldn't have happened. So that's been encouraging. That's been a real bright spot for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Any suggestions for what to watch on Netflix, you guys? I think I've watched everything.
You know the answer to that one, Aaron.
Tiger King.
Tiger King.
It's nothing like a gay redneck.
Hey, cool cats and kittens, it's Carol.
It was the best.
And
Carol. Everyone needs a Carol in their life.
That's right. Or not.
Or not.
Like a flower crown to wear.
Yeah. Have you seen Atypical yet?
No.
Oh.
There's 2 seasons of it, but it's about a young man with autism in his life. It's really funny. It's really good.
Last time we took a suggestion from you on what to watch, we ended up married.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, I put people together. Atypical.
Yeah.
And then the AJ and the Queen. Have you seen that one with RuPaul?
Oh.
RuPaul.
Well, I know who RuPaul is, but I haven't heard of it.
It's AJ and the Queen. You should see it. It's a good one.
Is it on Netflix?
It's on Netflix. It's funny.
Okay.
I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked it. There's like mayhem and stuff like that. Yes, it's good.
That's awesome.
RuPaul's always a good time.
Yeah.
God, it was, and I'm family friendly with your kids, Jordan and Ann. Are you like just on Disney Plus channel 24?
We make them go outside and play. We really limit the screen time for them.
They've earned a lot of money working outside.
Yeah.
I think last week Ty earned. This is funny. We pay them $12 an hour tax free, and they complain.
Well, but here's the thing. We typically don't ever pay our kids that. But knowing that we're under quarantine, under special conditions, it's stressful. So we're like, okay, how can we make them what typical chores we'd have them do outside? Like, what could we do to engage them a little bit more? And so we gave them the option that they could either exchange that time for $12 an hour or extra screen time. And one usually chooses extra screen time and the other one chooses the money. So one of us, I think, made $64 off of us last week.
And it's tax free. So really they're making like $15 or $16 an hour.
Yeah.
I don't understand. So I like to pay my son for doing chores, but then I'll take out taxes and like so
you give him a 1099 at the end of the year. Here you go, buddy. I paid you. You got to pay your taxes, buddy.
I'm so jealous of people with kids. I'm like, I'll take 3 teenagers and give you our dog. Maybe my house will be clean. The laundry will be done.
No.
So much more laundry and trash and
you won't be able to afford the milk, It's crazy.
I had to do the yard work the other day and I had to beg my son to come out and mow the lawn, which took like 20 minutes. I'm like, come on, get over here and do this.
Tell him I'll give him a haircut if you need him to do something.
Yeah.
That's right.
Can I get the same deal?
Hey, I might have to be traveling after next week, so you never know. We all meet in one place, no more than 10, and then we'll keep everyone 6 feet apart. We'll be
there
fine.
You go.
There you
6 foot scissors.
Yes.
Edward Scissorhands.
Uh-huh.
Awesome, you guys. Mark, I haven't seen you drink anything. You did not drink that.
I have been sipping on it.
Sipping.
It's a sipper.
I've taken 3 sips.
Oh, okay.
It's not.
We have an online happy hour later.
Kat, are you on tonight? Are you working tonight?
I'm actually driving for the Gnarly Gar tonight.
You're driving for what?
The Gnarly Gar out on
Oh, okay,
travel.
yeah.
So I'm actually working more than I've ever worked before.
Yeah.
I'm working almost every single day.
With,
Yeah, I see that. I've been watching you guys.
with the delivering food and alcohol?
Yes. And I'm trying to give, our staff as many shifts as we can at Castro. So I'm picking up shifts at another restaurant instead.
So real quick with Castro, because everybody's ordering online now and to help the restaurants and to get deliveries, home deliveries and all that. What are you doing different than you would have to box stuff up? Like what are like the new health codes, or how are you doing it so it's safe?
Oh, we're just going through a ton of gloves, a ton of hand sanitizer. I mean, when a lot of people, when they come up, they want just to open up their trunk and we just drop it in the trunk for them so that they don't, have to come in or anything or roll down their windows. A lot of payments are just on the phone, online. Instead of running their cards and no contacts.
Yeah,
Contact, yeah.
that's smart.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool.
But on the upside, we are selling a lot more food, so that's been a real bright spot for us.
That's
and
good.
Hopefully that trend will continue afterwards as well.
I think it's going to change a lot of restaurant businesses and the way things are run from here on out. I think a lot of people will realize they can work from home, which hopefully will help with traffic, but also restaurants don't have to be as big and they can do, delivery, especially if you have alcohol that can go home. That's a game changer right there. I mean, that's amazing, to have that, like, I'll sit at home. I mean, hell, I do that, but.
Box one.
No, really?
Absolutely.
Stop.
Hey, I'll drive out there sometime in the next week or so and I'll order food.
Got to do it. When this first started, I said to someone, I don't even remember who it was at this point, because we were all still being able to talk to each other at the very beginning. I said, well, if we all start quarantining, we're going to find out real fast the businesses that realize that they can save money by having all their employees work from home and that they're still getting their work done, and or we're going to realize real quick that we need community and that we need our people. So I think possibly both things are happening.
I agree with you, Aaron. I think it's really happening on both sides because I'm so used to seeing 8 to 10 people a day, every day, and not just, him and you guys and other people. And I went through a spell where I just didn't want to talk to anybody because it was just really hard for me to do something like this. Because I'm not a person that likes to be on the phone. I'm not a person that I like interaction. That's why I do what I do. And I'm sure Michelle can be the same way. I like touch. I like hugging. I like that. And it's been really, really hard for me in the past week or so not to be around people like that. I'm just now getting better and being more accustomed to it. But I think it's going to make both happen. People know that they can be at home and business can save money, pay their people more, but also the community, and then that people really care for the restaurants, the local restaurants, and the local gyms, and get to know the owners a little bit more and care about them. So I think it's going to be on both sides.
Yeah, I think, humans as a whole, as we are pack people, right? We need community. We need our villages. We're not meant to be on our own and alone all the time. So I think everybody will be finding their groups. So I think it's probably important too to reach out to those people who maybe don't have communities and try to involve them in your communities and try to get them to join you virtually as much as you can. So
I just love that people aren't allowed to hug me anymore. That's my favorite part about this whole thing.
When this is over, Kat, I'm hugging you. Full on hugging you.
Kat, I want you to turn around and hug Mark right now. Let's go. Big hug.
Hug.
Hug it out.
Oh.
Let's have a hug.
Notice that she wasn't hugging back.
Yeah, I'm a hugger for sure. And that's been hard when I see people and not be able to give them a hug. That's the worst.
It's hard, right?
Hard.
Especially when it's a caring thing. And so it's good. We'll see what happens from here on out. It might change. People might not hug anymore.
I'm that creepy person. The first time you meet me, I'm going to give you a hug. It's just.
Me too.
Yeah.
So,
Not getting you two together anytime soon.
Watch out.
Thank you for our first ever Zoom virtual drunk athlete podcast. I know it's not the normal that we normally do, and my whole gig was face-to-face interviews and communication so that we had eye contact and we could drink together. But we got to roll with the times. We got to change. We got to think out of the box and figure out a new modality, as in how to record this Zoom and get it out there. But I really appreciate you guys willing to get on and be vulnerable and talk with me about your businesses and, the hardships that COVID-19 has had on you, but I also believe that there is light at the end of this tunnel, and we are all going to come out really, really well. And we're going to take all these experiences with us, and things I think will get a lot better for everybody.
Yeah,
Can we do one cheer to all the nurses and doctors out there that are risking their lives?
Yes.
Amen.
Cheers to them. Thank you.
Cheers.
Police department that are taking care of all the people.
Yes.
Well, you know, home with spouses, and it's not a safe place. So thankfully, I don't know any of those people, but I feel bad for everybody that's having those hard times where home is not a safe place. So if you're listening and you're one of those people, reach out to somebody you know and get some help. You guys, love you guys. Thank you so much for being part of Drunk Athlete.
Love you guys.
Thank you.
Cheers.
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 Bye.
Cheers.